This is the Fat Bois Anime Podcast. Hey, welcome back to Fat Bois Anime Podcast. We're here today. We're going to give y'all a little bit of our backstory, give y'all an introduction on kind of how this podcast came together, introduce ourselves, tell you a little bit about what this podcast means to us and kind of what direction we're taking it. So I'm Tyler. I'm one of the co-hosts on this podcast. And we're here with our boy Nick and our boy Anthony.
What's up?
So just kind of we're going to do a little bit of an introduction. So I guess I'll start off, kind of tell y'all how I got into anime, and then we'll go around the table, tell y'all a little bit about ourselves. So I haven't watched nearly as much anime as Anthony. Our nickname for him is Nogs. That's what we've called him since football. But grew up watching Toonami, so definitely a lot of Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, some Gundam, Zoids. You got to watch a little bit of Sailor Moon here and there. She's one of the greats from the 90s. You can't go wrong with Sailor Moon. Then tapered off a little bit kind of through middle school and high school before I had access to Netflix and didn't have money to blow spending like $30 a season. But once I got into college and I had Netflix, Hulu, got that Funimation app, I really started kind of going back and watching some of the old animes I'd watched growing up and just really started diving deep. I've been kind of trying to hustle ever since and watch as much as I can. And that's kind of what led us here today. What do you think, Nogs?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like probably all of us here today, I kind of got into anime during, those late 90s, early 2000s, watching Toonami as well. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, Yu Yu Hakusho was one of my favorite. And, I'm kind of excited to start this podcast. So, I think it's one thing that, we've kind of missed kind of growing up because anime was always considered like a nerdy thing to do. And a lot of people always kind of stayed quiet about it. So I'm excited to start this podcast and, just talk about it. You know what I mean? Just talk about anime. Have a good time doing it, just messing around. By no means are we experts in anime. I watch a lot of anime. I binge watch a lot of anime in like sometimes days. And I can't remember names all the time. So sometimes we're going to mess up, forget a name of someone, forget the plot, all that good stuff. But by no means are we experts. I think one of this cool thing about this podcast is we're definitely going to try to be interactive, which is something I look forward to. And I think that's something we're going to talk about in our podcast. So, for all you listeners out there, get in on our social medias and, kind of interact with us, do our polls and all that good fun. So I'm excited. I look forward to, talking about anime because it's something I really love doing.
I'm Nick Garcia. I'm going to be mainly the producer on here. I'll have my wild comments here and there. Grew up in the 90s watching anime as well. Mostly Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, a little bit of Hamtaro in there. Don't want to say that too much. But to piggyback off of what Nogue said, I'm really happy that anime is becoming more mainstream.
Yep.
And less of like this weird niche thing that the nerds in the corner were doing.
Right?
Yeah.
It's funny because I remember, kind of growing up like in those late 90s, early 2000s, like anime started and like Dragon Ball Z was a super cool thing. You know what I mean? Yu Yu Hakusho, Gundam, those were like just our Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like those were just considered like really good, like action-y cartoons and no one really realized they were anime. So kind of like once all those series ended and then if you were still watching anime, you were considered like a weirdo, which, I kind of kept it under the wraps watching anime for a long time. Until, at like, honestly, like towards the end of high school, mainly in college, I was like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I watch all this anime. I don't care what everyone thinks of me. All that good fun. So, who doesn't love anime? I think they're all I mean, I've yet to come across like really terrible. I mean, that's not true. I've come across.
There's a couple buses out there.
Let's be real. But there is. You know what I mean? But even the bad ones, they have moments where it's like really good. You know, animes are not cartoons, and we're here to prove that on this podcast. We're going to show you how legit anime is. We're going to watch new anime, talk about old anime, all that good fun. We're going to put you guys in a bunch of different scenarios where we're just kind of having this fantasy world of like who's going to win between, you know, maybe Goku and One Punch Man in the future, like all that good fun. So, I mean, I'm excited, boys.
And going off of that, this is definitely for fun. We still all got day jobs right now. I'm working as an engineer. I know Tyler's a PE coach. And then Nogs is working in medical sales right now. So this is definitely for fun. We're just creating content to try to put it out there and try to share that with y'all.
Just have a good time. Nothing serious, that's for sure.
And it kind of speaks to the name, too. I mean, we're called Fat Boys Anime. So obviously, we don't take ourselves too seriously, you know? Basically, like, if you had to say what our mission statement is, what our goal is we just want to create, you know, fun, authentic content and possibly down the line merchandise for basically just the whole range of anime fans, you know, whether you only watch the big three, or you're into that slice of life anime, or maybe you're just a Naruto 24/7. That's all you watch. Hey, that's fine. We're gonna try to cover everything. You know, we're not gonna specialize in any one area, but we're gonna basically just try to spread ourselves as thin as we can, watch as much anime as we can, and like Nogue said, we're gonna definitely get some names wrong. I'm a big Digimon fan. I might catch hate for that. Sometimes I like dub more than sub. I know I'm gonna catch hate for that too. So we're basically just here to give y'all good stuff.
Sometimes. What? Let's be real. This guy kind of, you know, he might choose dubbed all the time instead of sub. But you know, we'll get him later for that. That's for sure. We'll just roast on him one of these episodes on why he's wrong. But you know, we're all still learning here. So. Like I said, man, I'm glad. Like, that's one of the coolest things I'm looking forward to in this podcast is that we're not limiting ourselves to, like, one set of, like, you know, like, one genre. Like, we're not just going to be talking about Dragon Ball Z. We're not just going to be talking about Naruto, even though we could probably talk 100 episodes each on those, like, and, like, last that for, like, a couple of years. Like, we're going to be talking about some, you know, maybe not so popular animes. We're going to try to be keeping up with all the good times, you know. Maybe some decadence in there. Who knows? We won't talk about that anime, but, you know, it's going to be a good time. So I'm glad I'm doing it with these two other guys. You know, we've been friends for quite a while now. We've played sports in high school together, always messed around in college, played video games. And, you know, I think, you know, when us three get together, it's always a good time. So I'm excited about it.
Well, and kind of how this podcast came together was... originally I'd been thinking about doing a podcast for a while, but you know, as Nick's mentioned, I'm a PE teacher, so I'm more of the kind of person that has ideas, but is not necessarily great at getting those ideas off the ground. But thankfully, my boy Nick and Nogs, they are much better in that department. So thankfully, you know, when I mentioned to him, I was like, "What do you guys think about starting a podcast, especially?" You know, covering anime, something that we all enjoy, something that we're passionate about. They were welcome to, you know, help me kind of get this going, and we've created a little team now. And I think we're doing good. Nick, he's got our producing stuff going on. Nogs, this guy, he's got the marketing down, and then I'll just come out here and just say stupid stuff on the fly, and then hopefully people will like it. So I think we got ourselves a good little system going.
And Fat Boys really came about because at the center point of the friendship was always food. It didn't matter what we were doing, we were always eating, playing video games, eating, watching TV, but we were always eating. Remember in college, we'd go out 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, run to Walmart, and just grab all kinds of junk food that we can buy. Then we just have this smorgasbord of ice cream, pizza, chicken sandwiches, whatever we could find out there.
It's funny because we used to call it the Fat Boys Draft. And we would there's a big group of us. We would all just split up in Walmart, you know, after gaming for a while, playing Madden, Super Smash Bros. And go into Walmart, like you said, around 2, 3 a.m. all randomly. Go and all just split up and just grab whatever we felt like eating at that moment. Like, I swear, there's times where it's just pizza and cream puffs, and you're like, what? Pizza and cream puffs? That's a weird combo. But I tell you what, I mean, a lot of you guys know how it is. At 2, 3 a.m. when you're playing video games, watching anime, that's a great combo. I don't care what you guys say. But, I mean, so I think, it's going to be a good time. And we're definitely going to bring, that energy that we've always had those late nights to this podcast, which is going to be a great time.
And I think another thing we're going to pride ourselves on is, leaving the table open for any questions or any debates y'all want to send us. You can find us on Instagram at Fat Bois Anime. That's Fat BOIS Anime. And then on Twitter, you can find us at Fat Bois Anime 1. And I don't care what y'all want to ask. If you're like, hey, who would win in a twerk contest, Sakura or Orihime? I might get in trouble, but I'll answer the question. Like, whatever y'all want us to talk about, debate, send us ideas, because we're. Yeah, I would have to agree. Yeah, Orihime, no disrespect, Sakura, but yeah, she's taking it. So literally, y'all tell us whatever you want to throw on the table, we will talk about it. We are not scared of any topics.
And wherever you listen to podcasts, we're going to be out there. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, Podcatcher, wherever you guys want to listen to it. And we're going to be throwing some TikTok videos in there too. We got a TikTok user channel at Fat Bois Anime, or you can check us out on our website, fatboysanimepodcast.com.
And we just had we're dropping Wednesday, January 6th. So we're gonna have a couple episodes in the chamber. If you think we're trash, hey, that's all right. We're still gonna be having a good time laughing with each other. So y'all got any final thoughts? Any final thoughts, Nogs?
I think, just have fun with us. You know what I mean? Come in, roast us. We're definitely a couple guys who won't get our feelings hurt. If you want to comment on any of our stuff, or just, DM us, whatever it may be, just, tell us we're trash, just be like, what? I think soccer wins in that contest, honestly. But you know what I mean? Like, we won't take anything to heart. We're here to have a good time with us three, and then we want to have a good time with you, with all you listeners out there. So we definitely want to be interactive, like we said earlier. So don't hold back, because I guarantee you, we might give it back just as hard as you guys, and we're probably going to discuss, some of the comments that we see online. So it's going to be a fun time. I look forward to it, like I said earlier. So come prepared.
How about you?
I will pick subbed over dubbed every single day. I think that's all I got to say.
You know what? Subbed is growing on me as far as One Piece, but dubbed Dragon Ball Z, no discussion.
It's like one of two, maybe three, but that might be better. But it is what it is. But I look forward to everyone. Like I said, my name's Anthony. These guys call me Nogs. So I'm looking forward to getting to know everyone as this podcast goes on.
So we got Nick, the producer. We got Nogs, co-host. We got Tyler, the co-host. I hope y'all enjoy. Thanks for listening to the Fat Bois Anime podcast, and we'll catch y'all later.
Peace.